Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, introducing the next Prime Minister of Great Britain, BoJo! 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 I mean, it's kind of obvious now, isn't it? He's going to be Prime Minister because, for the main reason, who are all the other guys? Don't even know. And secondly, I mean, every left-wing media is just on the attack. You know, it's reaching levels of lunacy. It is reaching levels of lunacy. Obviously, the way the right-wing media has attacked Jeremy Corbyn reached a slight level of lunacy. It's the whole... he's very attackable anyway, because he's a bit of a loon, isn't he? But, like, fact is, left-wing UK media on the left, like, is going... it's going like America, which is bad. Because America have totally lost the plot. Like, really lost the plot. All this stuff recently I'm hearing about, comparing migrant camps to concentration camps is just insanity, is the best way to describe it. It is insanity. It's like, what are you on about? Have you read a history book before? Christ, have you watched The Great Escape? Schindler's List, should I say? Do you know what I mean? It's like, all right, you've totally lost your fucking mind. You've lost your mind now. You know you've lost your mind. And obviously, they've attacked, like in the UK, they've attacked some of the other candidates, but it's BoJo that they're worried about. He's pro-Brexit, so that's a big no-no, isn't it? And he's Boris Johnson. I mean, this is... A few years ago, I'd be like, oh my God, please don't let Boris Johnson be Prime Minister. But now we live in loony land, like clown world. We do. We know this. And we just have to embrace it. And why not? Just why not? At least have something amusing. You know, America's got Donald Trump, and that's highly amusing. So let's have our own amusing leader. You know, let's live in a time of loony leaders. You know, it's better than what was once before. Just like, oh, please. I mean, you know, Theresa May, God bless her, but my goodness, you know, you just feel sorry every time someone attacks her. You're just like, all right, just leave her alone. She's just very beige. You know what I mean? Can't attack beige. Don't attack beige. You know, it's like when they attack Zoella. It's like, all right, she's beige, but you can't attack beige. You can just go, well, that's a bit beige. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of inoffensive. You know, like a jacket potato. You know, it's all right. It's all right. Put some cheese on it. Pimped. It's like, you know, but it's not, you know, it's not. People come around for dinner, you give them a jacket potato, they go like, what? Really? Well, what's next? Huh? What's for dessert? Huh? Angel Delight, motherfucker. You know what I mean? But it's you can't really, like, you know, you can't really go wrong with it, can you? It's like, it just does the job sort of thing, or doesn't do the job, if you want anything exotic. I'm rambling now, but look. So now it's like, you know, so Boris Johnson's, I would say, sort of has that Teflon aura about him because of all the silly stuff he's done. We've always known he said silly things. You know, he was a comedy politician. He used to be on, like, Have I Got News For You, like, regularly as just the butt of jokes because he was just rambling, like, he was just a rambling, you know, it's just a bit of a rambling idiot. And then he became mayor, but, like, we were fine with Mayor of London because that's been a comedy job anyway. Like, Ken Livingstone is a lunatic, Boris Johnson a lunatic. I thought Sadiq Khan was normal, but now I've seen that he's a lunatic, but a boring lunatic. You know, there's nothing worse than a boring lunatic. Do you know what I mean? You want a funny lunatic. If you can have someone who's a loon, let them be funny. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, so, you know, can you? I mean, look. Come on, man. Imagine a press conference with Donald Trump and Boris Johnson. It's going to be hilarious. Imagine a coalition government with Boris Johnson and Nigel Farage. And people are scared of this. It's like, what? There's literally nothing to be scared of. It's like, it's just going to be jokes, man. Come on, it's jokes. I mean, easily said for me. I don't live in the UK anymore, but... so, it's extra fun for me. Watching for a fun. I will be in the UK for a couple of months. From September. Hopefully the election happens in October because I will be there, and I am going to go live stream in the middle of any protest going down and just bask, because I've never been to one. I just want to bask in the glory of lunacy. Just see it in effect. Do you know what I mean? Be amongst the circus, having fun. But this article is just, a typical example. So Boris had a little argument with his girlfriend. Well, whoop-dee-doo. It's kind of like, same thing will happen with Tommy Robinson. It's interesting because like Tommy Robinson, there's enough, if you want to attack people, right? There's enough that it's like Jeremy Corbyn or Boris Johnson or whoever it is. It's what they stand for and what they actually have done is what you should be going after. But people don't do that of what people have actually done. They just try and clean on everything. And they did it to Tommy Robinson. They released this audio clip of him having, it wasn't even a row with his missus. It was like, can I get the charger? She's like, what? And his wife's like, what? And he's like, just give me the fucking charger. And they're just like, oh my God, Tommy Robinson is a wife-beating maniac. It's like, what? It's like, if you have to stoop to that level, then you're losing. You're losing because, like, sure, it's things that he's done, it's things that Boris Johnson's done, things that Jeremy Corbyn have done. I'm just talking about people that get being regularly attacked here. All right, it's things they've actually done. And when it comes to things they've actually done, you don't really hear much about, like, because maybe they haven't done nothing. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of talk. Jeremy Corbyn with a lot of talk. They ain't done nothing. So now it's like, oh, Boris Johnson has a row. Boris Johnson's pitch is all about his character. That's why the row on his flat matters. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. Because what's it got to do with how you're going to govern a country or policy decisions as a row with your missus? Because, like, you can... plenty of people can stand there and say, I'm going to do this and this and this. I believe in the family. Let's say family values is your thing, but then you've got like 5 kids with 3 different mothers. Do you know what I mean? And you're sort of like, you could still like enforce family value laws and be staunch behind it. Go, well, this is what I'd like to be as a human being, but I'm kind of flawed. I know this is the right thing to do, but me, I think. It doesn't matter. And look at this gimp. His eyes are too close together. For goodness sake, can't trust a guy like that. Forehead that big, eyes that close together. He's an unfortunate fellow. He's a journalist. He's a hater. Just remember that. I mean, Boris is no. Boris is no, no eye candy. But my goodness, the would-be Prime Minister says Brexit just requires brio and confidence. He turned politics into a game of personality. No, you've turned it into a game of personality because you're talking about character. And politics is a game of personality. I don't know if you've been awake for ever. I don't know if you've ever woke up in the morning and seen light bound. How light works. It sort of reflects off stuff. That's how you can see things. Don't know if you know that concept. But the concept of personality politics is like, look. Right, there's a good reason why Tony Blair got voted, even after the Iraq War, right? When Tony Blair everyone was kind of iffy, like going, this guy, fuck this guy. But then Michael Howard was leader of the Conservative Party, and it made, myself included, was like, well, we can't have him in. He's fucking Dracula, He sucks the blood out of babies' faces. He's like, personality-wise, it was like, hell no, not this guy. This Tony Blair was kind of like, same with David Cameron. David Cameron kind of looks, I wouldn't say he has sex, well, maybe sex appeal, but compare him to Miliband, who was just this goofy lunatic. Do you know what I mean? It's hell no. Look at John McCain and Barack Obama. Barack Obama got charisma. John McCain is just an old geezer. That's why they brought Sarah Palin in. They were that desperate. They're like, oh, let's get this slightly hot lunatic. Because to spice it up a bit. You know what I mean? John Kerry versus George W. Bush. George W. Bush, again, everyone's calling him a fucking war criminal. But against John Kerry, like, George W. Bush had that little gleam in his eye going, hey, I'm an idiot, but I'm a cuddly idiot. You know what I mean? It's like Bill Clinton. Come on, man. Shut up. It's all it's a popularity contest because you're voting for one. It's one person. It's this one person that you think is going to fix everything. You know, you're silly. You're silly. Let's begin the straightforward part. Any incident in which a woman is heard screaming in her home and shouting, "Get off me," at a man instantly becomes a matter not only of public interest, but of public responsibility. Okay, right. I know. By the looks of you, I don't think you've had no women in a long time. I don't know what your personal situation, but I'm telling you, what a woman shouting, "Get off me," really? Yeah, that's your first conclusion? Have you ever been with a complete loot? Have you ever been with a crazy woman? Have you ever experienced what women will do sometimes when they're just being a bit crazy? You know, "Get off me!" Like, probably like a woman could literally be in the worst mood. And you try and cuddle her, go, "Oh, baby, I love you. It's okay." He's like, "Get off me!" That's a fucking thing, my friend. I don't know when the last time you engaged in this sort of activity, but that is a thing. So, shh. Let's have some hush from you now, my friend, okay? Shh. Don't be silly. You make yourself look silly in the first paragraph. Precise motives of the neighbours who called the police on Thursday night to report the row between Boris Johnson and his partner, Carrie Simons. Or Simons, who cares? And also alerted the Guardian. Oh, they alerted the Guardian. So they called the police. "Hello, police. Right, now I must phone the Guardian. Because who else am I going to call on Boris Johnson?" The fucking Guardian. Should be a matter of near total indifference. So what if they were Ramonas or Tory haters or vacationing ministers in the Venezuelan government? Would it really have been better if they had let it be? Well, they probably would have let it be if it was Jeremy Corbyn. I think that's the point, isn't it? Probably, I'd go with that. Allowed what's happening to run its course on the old deplorable basis. That is it. It is intrinsically wrong to intervene in a lover's tiff. Well, it is. Stay out of domestic problems. Because you're going to get it's just not worth your time sometimes. It's just some people are in relationships and you're baffled and like, why are you two together? No idea, but they're like, and they'll go, "Oh, but yeah, we really love each other." And you're like, "Do you?" And they do. And you're like, "Okay, well, this is your dynamic. Fair enough. It's nuts." None of us yet knows precisely what took place between Johnson and Simons. Okay. Yes, I know. But, forgive my frustration, that's the point. Is it? The only defensible response of a neighbour in such circumstances was to contact the police. Is it? Well, we call that being a fucking busybody. But that's just me. You know, I had neighbours who were like always having the most horrific rows, like screaming, going, "Fuck you, get off," like similar. I know the daughter. And I spoke to her, you know, and I know some of you. I spoke to him about it, and I was like, going, "Yeah, what goes on in there?" Because I was minding my own business. Like, is he putting hands on her or something? Like, no. It's just, you know, they just have a toxic relationship where it sounds like they're about to kill each other, but they don't. Okay, that's why I don't call the police, because I find out what's going on first. Because I am not a busybody idiot. I have argued in the past that Johnson's turbulent private life is a poor basis on which to attack him. Yes! One of the great improvements in British political culture in recent decades has been the decline of moral puritanism. After the fiasco of John Major's back to basic strategy, a new and sensible consensus emerged that sexuality, infidelity and marital status are no long fair game in political conflict. Bullshit! But that shift does not represent a blank check. Yes, the police left Simons' flat satisfied that there were no offences or concerns apparent to officers. But the mere fact that the man poised to become Prime Minister in a few weeks was involved in an alarming altercation. See, you're calling it alarming altercation, right? You're just so full of shit. Just admit you're full of shit. Admit you work for The Guardian, you're left-leaning, and you're definitely pro-EU. Right? This guy is everything you don't like. Just admit it. Because you wouldn't give a fuck if it was alarming. You annoy me so much right now because you're so full of shit. Stop being full of shit. Just don't be full of... Do you ever wake up and realise... This is a whole wake-up situation, because I don't know what happens when you wake up. Something goes on. Maybe your window is onto a brick wall, because, you know, you're an underpaid journalist and you live in some overpriced part of London. You're looking at this brick wall. You just don't know what the fuck's going on, do you? Okay, you're full of shit, and everyone can see you're full of shit. All these journalists, whether you're right wing or left wing, doesn't matter. You're full of shit, and everyone knows you're full of shit. And those that don't know you're full of shit will eventually know you're full of shit. You're full of shit. So shush, because it's pointless. Your existence is becoming pointless. That must suck badly. Anyway, in an alarming altercation which a neighbour felt it necessary to call the police is self-evident a legitimate matter for public inquiry. No, it's not. Not at all. I'm telling you. You know, broadcaster Ian Dale was quite right to press Johnson on the matter at the Conservative leadership hustings in Birmingham on Saturday. Others would now do the same. We have absolutely no right to know more about, say, the petty private details of Johnson's prospective divorce from his second wife or the state of his relationship with his children. We have every right to ask why his partner was screaming on Thursday night and telling him to get off her. We have every right to ask. Do you? Do you? Do you? If I was in the same situation, do you know what I'd tell you? I'd say, go fuck yourself. I would. Like, how about you go fuck yourself? Okay? Go fuck yourself. That's what I'd say to you. I'm not going to read any more of your bloody drivel. All right? I know where it's going to lead to. Look, because you end off Johnson, the L. Ron Hubbard of the Church of Brexitology, reassures them that leaving the EU is anything but complex. In fact, it could. So look, this is you. Right? I'm not going to entertain any more. You know, I'm not going to entertain any more of this. I'm not. Why would I not entertain it anymore? Well, am I some staunch believer in Brexit? No. Am I a supporter of the Conservative Party? No. Do I love Boris Johnson? No. I am anti-nonsense. I am not a nonsense peddler. You are. You know, your whole existence is based on some political ideology, which makes you weak. You're weak in the mind. You do not see. You're talking. Virtue signaling. Really, you're just a pawn. You're a pawn in someone else's game. And either you know it or you don't know it. And I cry for you, my friend. I cry for you. Like, I don't care. And no one should care. Who gives a fuck? If there's evidence to say that he's battering his wife, his girlfriend, then let him be judged then. But until that time, shh.